Hello, welcome to the Rio Gaming Nexus YouTube channel. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.
The story of Hellboy does not begin with a heroic birth, but in the dying fires of World War II, amidst a conspiracy of mad science and dark magic. The year was 1944. As the Allied forces pushed across Europe, the desperate leaders of the Third Reich turned to the occult for a last-ditch superweapon. Under the guidance of the seemingly immortal Russian mystic Grigory Rasputin, they initiated Project Ragnarok. Their goal was nothing less than to summon a being of immense power from the depths of hell itself, an entity that would turn the tide of the war and bring about a new, dark age ruled by the Reich. On the storm-racked night of December 23, 1944, off the coast of Scotland on the desolate Ptarmigan Island, Rasputin and his Nazi cohorts performed the ritual. They tore a hole in the fabric of reality, a gateway of crackling crimson energy. From Washington, D.C., a small team of Allied soldiers, accompanied by a young, paranormal expert from Oxford University named Professor Trevor Brutt-in-Holm pronounced Broom, was dispatched to intercept this occult activity. The ritual was a success, but not in the way the Nazis had hoped. While Rasputin opened the portal, the Allied team ambushed the ceremony, killing the Nazi sorcerers and forcing the mystic to flee. The portal, however, remained open just long enough for something to come through, but it was not the towering, demonic general the Nazis had expected. Miles away from the main ritual site, in the ruins of a bombed-out church in East Bromwich, England, the Allied soldiers found the result of the summoning. There, in a flash of sulfur and brimstone, appeared a small, frightened creature. It was a child, with bright red skin, a long tail, cloven hooves 4 feet, and a disproportionately large, powerful right hand made of solid stone. Where the soldiers saw a monster, Professor Brutt-in-Holm saw a child, confused and alone. Ignoring the protests of his military escort, the kind professor approached the demon child, offering it a candy bar. He took the creature in, shielded it from those who would have destroyed it, and gave it a name, Hellboy. Raised by Professor Brutt-in-Holm as a son, Hellboy grew up on a U.S. Army airbase in New Mexico. He was taught human values, empathy, and kindness. To better fit in, he would file down the horns that grew from his forehead, a physical act of rejecting his demonic heritage. Under his adoptive father's guidance, he eventually became the primary agent for the newly formed Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense BPARD, an organization created to combat the occult threats that secretly plagued the world. For decades, Hellboy served as humanity's protector, a monster who hunted other monsters. He fought vampires in Romania, battled frog creatures in haunted mansions, and punched ancient gods back into their tombs. However, his true origin was a shadow that always followed him. He eventually learned the terrible truth of his purpose. He was not just any demon. He was a Nung Unrama, which translates to, and upon his brow is set a crown of flame. He was a being of apocalyptic destiny, born to a prince of hell, and summoned to earth to bring about its end. His stone right hand, the right hand of doom, was not just a powerful weapon, but the very key that could unlock the prison of the Ogdru Jihad, the 7 dragons of chaos, and unleash the apocalypse. This was his prophesied fate. This is the central conflict of Hellboy's existence. He is a creature born of darkness, destined to be the world's destroyer, who instead chooses to be its champion. He fights against his own nature, using the very tool of Armageddon to protect the world he has come to love. He is a blue-collar, wise-cracking, pancake-loving demon, who carries the weight of the world's end on his shoulders, proving every day that a man is not defined by where he comes from, but by the choices he makes. I hope you enjoyed this story video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay safe out there.